Try this on my phone, see what happens. The internet's not real great on it. Just came back on here, let everybody know that it went down. Didn't just stop the stream, it just cratered on me. The storm is going over the town that has the main communications hub for, I don't know, 75, 80-mile radius. And yeah, I'm inside of it. You can put 2 football fields inside that building, and it's all for phones and internet. Most of it's empty now, but the whole thing is like 67 degrees. The air conditioned the whole man. Is that just you? See if anybody's in the chat. Okay, now they're coming in. All right. Yeah, I just letting everybody know that the internet is down. Kaputnik. I'm on my phone, and it's not real good. I've only got 1 bar. But the building with all the servers and stuff in it for this area is right underneath the purple part of the storm right now. So that would explain a lot. The storm missed us and went south, and it's tearing stuff up, evidently. Was it 20 years ago that storm went through there and dumped 27 tornadoes? I was in that town then, literally in the town. Saw 3 of the tornadoes myself. Watched one completely shred my motorcycle. Yes, it was. The tornado didn't get it, but the hail, it was the hail the size of baseballs that it was throwing at 90-degree angle across the planet. That pelting. One side of the motorcycle looked fine. The other side was toast. The other side still looked brand new. It actually broke my mirror off, broke the cowling off, broke one of the fins, the cooling fins on my engine. Bashed the gas tank all up, took the cover off my seat, cracked my windshield. Yeah, it was fun. But that was a long time ago. I got it put back together. Changed the paint to the color I would like. And when I bought it, it was black and gold. And when I got rid of it, it was black and yellow. Like God intended. Well, that storm was the first time I'd ever seen a ground thrust form, and this big old storm built up. It was coming across, and then it hit a pocket of super low pressure, and the storm slammed. You could see the storm come down out of the sky, and it hit the ground, and the pressure of all the heavy air hitting the ground caused it to hit the ground and roll up. You could see the debris from the ground rolling up and going back into the storm because the air going down was causing it's just like water. It was coming down and it was actually sucking the wind that it was blowing out, bringing it back up, and it formed about 2.5, 3 miles of uh, tornado that was laying uh, horizontally on the ground. Yeah, I got 4 people in here, but it was where that bit of the storm hit. The damage was actually underneath the eaves and overhangs on the houses.
Somebody had it, one of the cars, there's a dome light or something on it.
Oh, that's that converter, inverter, whatever. The green one. Is it a green looking light?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
just saw it below, I thought it was the dome.
It's pretty bright little light, but it's just LED, so it don't take no juice.
LEDs are bright.
Yeah, they are. And I don't understand why not everything. They make the most sense as far as light goes. They're light. They're not good light. You got to have so many of the small output LEDs to make a soft white
Yeah.
that they're kind of a pain in the butt and they're expensive. But as far as the amount of juice they use, which I still don't see how that works because you actually have to push the juice in there to make the stuff and it converts and they don't. It doesn't make any sense to me that they use less
That
juice.
one LED?
That's an LED.
Yeah. And that's fluorescent.
Those I don't like the fluorescents. Never have. I like those better than the snap-in fluorescents.
You
But
know those halogen light fixtures you plug into the ceilings and kitchen overheads and stuff?
yeah,
They make LEDs that plug in those now.
yeah, and see that makes sense.
I wondered why he wasn't under.
Well, you can see them after they get warmed up.
You can see them after you turn them off for about 30 seconds.
That's what the missus said. She said I said that we shouldn't legalize marijuana, and boom, that was it. I got kicked off YouTube. But I don't know if that's true or not. So, I know the internet went down and it hasn't come back up. That's all I know. You know what? That might be a thing there. Because I said all of those. Those were like, said every one of those would be a flag word. Yeah, that might have been. And my router may be the only one that's disconnected from the internet. Everybody else may be fine. Who needs freedom of speech when you can be oppressed by the man? I know all the people I know that are pushing for legalizing marijuana are just a bunch of dope heads. So, and trust me, I know exactly what bong water tastes like. And I know why they're pushing for it to be legalized. It's not, well, it needs to be legalized because it cures cancer. The stuff that cures cancer is already legal. So, this stuff's legal. It has health benefits. This isn't illegal. Just the stuff that makes you go, oh man, this is some good stuff. Am I driving okay? I think we're parked, man. Never seen that movie. I just heard about it. What were we talking about before we were so rudely interrupted by whatever? I want the government because that's the only way you keep them going. they're not regulating it now, and all those mountain streams and little secret lovely places you're talking about, liking to go camping, Westwind, those are going to die and be lifeless wastelands because of what it takes to grow marijuana in the colder climates of North America. The soil is not rich enough, and there's not enough rainfall to grow that stuff here. Not outside of Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Houston area. I can grow it down there pretty good. They can grow it in the valley. But you gotta get it in the ground and get it up, and you gotta do it with irrigation and fertilizer. And they over fertilize it to make it grow. Thank you. You need to grow the crap in the backyard. But that's different. Growing for what you're going to use, as opposed to trying to grow enough to make $200,000-300,000 off of it. Do some research into the Forestry Service hates the legalized marijuana in those states. These guys are breaking into national forests, cutting down plots, damming up springs, and fertilizing almost barren ground, bringing in pot and soil and this and everything else, and growing this stuff because it's now legal. But I forget the crazy number of streams that have already been killed. Literally, all the minerals are gone. There's nothing alive in the stream anymore because of the runoff from the fertilizer, and it's only been a couple of years or a few years. Wow, that didn't take long. You don't hear any tree huggers screaming about that. We've got to shut down these illegal marijuana farms. Well, yeah. Well, what are you going to do to them because they're growing a legal substance? All you can get them for is trespassing, I think. It's no longer against the law to grow marijuana. Yeah. I prefer marijuana to be illegal and not in my country. But if they want to make it illegal, they need to, or make it legal, they need it to be regulated more harshly than tobacco. What are you going to talk about? You don't know? We can talk about blue water. There's a guy in here who knows something about blue water.
No, because he was stingy and didn't share it while I was there.
Oh, yeah. Somebody who shall remain nameless, who was born in 66, is in trouble because he kept a big giant blue place secret for several days and then shared it with the world, but not with somebody else. So we did get an invite to go back. We got to give him that. Yeah, exactly. That seriously, Chipper, that was a good video. You put that was put together really good. I would have preferred if you gave my people's Trail of Tears photo just a little bit more time. That's a pretty big deal in my family. But um, yeah, I did. You know when they got released from the reservation? This ain't in the history book. Here's your little bit of history. When they got released from the reservation and told they were free to move across the country because they were civilized, a lot of the ones that were young when that happened were older, but they had told their children of a place that was better than Oklahoma, so they tried to go home. They were being killed when they were found out that they had left Oklahoma in a free country and gone back to the place of their origin. Yes, my grandma. She was there. What y'all threatening each other with now?
I was threatening with you. She said, marketing west, label wanting more so they'll come back.
Oh.
Be careful what you ask for, Chipper.
Ain't scared. Yeah, but it was they didn't smoke the hemp. I mean, the hemp plant cannabis is excellent rope. You can still buy hemp rope. You can smoke it if you want to. Hemp rope's not illegal. Hey, diggers, I'll find it. I've got a video that I put out on Facebook several years ago on what all the people up here that were smoking dope were putting people in Mexico through so they could get high. And y'all decide whether or not it was okay. If that buzz was worth 13 people laying in the street with their heads over here and their bodies over there. I'm just saying. It's a drug. Needs to be regulated. I want my internet back. I can't even Google stuff to talk about. Will you go and boop that thing? Just turn it off and we'll let it set for a little bit. That's what it said today.
The internet?
Yeah, the internet. Because it's not. We were talking about Indians anyway. Well, how do we get it? Okay.
Emus.
Indians.
Oh, I thought you were talking about emus. I can't hear.
It's everybody, every computer in the place, everything. There's no internet at my house. There's a bad storm but down there where the internet comes from. My phone's barely got service. I can't believe I'm still in here. I just dumped ashes. Who wants to come back in my floor? And see, I'm mostly Cherokee. Well, me too, Cherokee or Choctaw. But when we were pushed to Oklahoma, we were already a civilized tribe. We had accepted Christianity. We didn't do all that. Yeah, I've got to deal with around here. I got to deal with Apaches, Comanches. You know, they don't. They hadn't been on the reservation forever. They just learned to speak Spanish and left.
That's fine. No, thank you. What else happens?
Yeah, I've thought about building a sauna here, but that's all a sweat lodge is a dry sauna. You just go in and it's hot, and you build a fire in it and smoke and drink a crap ton of water so you can sweat. Ooh, I should have got a video of it, but it was disgusting. I had. Thank you,
That's what I was saying.
Mr. 66. I brought a friend home from. Oh no, wait! I brought that home from San Antonio, didn't I?
Yeah.
I brought a friend home from San Antonio, and he was up there with me the entire time I was in Arkansas, and yeah, I thought it was just heating up and driving me nuts, so I was leaving it alone. Anyway, it got to itching something fierce, so I scratched it, and I felt something, and I pulled on it, and I had me a bot maggot right here. I got a hole now. Pulled me out a little bot maggot. It was wiggling and everything.
Okay.
My wife wants me to change subject again. I just changed the subject,
Yeah, but that's just gross.
and now I have to change it again.
Read the chat, but I'm not thinking.
Yeah. Mm, sort of.
Just trying to take you out, Hyde. I know.
You got to be careful what white people try to teach you about Indian history. Just saying.
There's a load of laundry in the washer and dryer. Let's get it tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, the repellent doesn't do any good on.
No, but the mosquito bite, I'm still covered in mosquito.
Yeah, the mosquito. Mine have finally started eating up on the itching though. That's why I know they're just mosquito bites. But I was getting them in like weird. Don't ever bite me there again, mosquito bite places. Oh. Just gonna have to deal with my hair. I'm thinking about going back to carving stuff. There's only 9 of y'all in here. Y'all want a preview of my new stick that I'm making?
There's a man at the nursing home here who makes arrowhead necklaces
Oh, really? Which one? Which nurse one?
out know which one. Friday.
There, here you go, Chip. There's another walkaway.
Oh, this was a new video though. They don't.
Oh, that's right. This is a start over, do over. This one don't count. This is a totally new count. Yeah, where's it gonna stick a stick at? Y'all ready for this? No, not it. Y'all the only one that's got to see this. Get off my line. It's gonna be hard to see in here. Pretty good looking stick. I do say so myself. I'm a wussy. I can't. I made the string for it. I loaded it. I can't pull it. It's, I don't know what the draw weight is on this thing, but it's, whoa, buddy. It's beyond me.
What
And I-
do you use for the wood blocks?
This is ball. I call it ball cedar. The actual real name for it's Arizona cypress. It's a real flexible wood, but it's stiff. It's really stiff.
Might need to thin out the arms a little more.
Yeah,
And Chipper just said bring it to me. He'll show you.
show you how to pull it back. Lee already tried. I ain't putting on. Trust me, I was putting out. I was scared to get bent. You can string it up, and the string will make music. Go doing, doing, doing. Can't wait to get it finished though. I've got to. I'm gonna take another 16th off the inside, and go from there. Thinking about bringing the handle in a little bit. I don't need that much handle, but I like that much handle. Say again. That Chipper said that, didn't he?
Well, I said that.
Oh, you said that? The missus told me to quit rubbing my wood in front of the camera. So the show's over, boys and girls. But it feels so nice. Get that parting shot in there. No, it's a cypress. It's a, you can type it in, just type in. I don't know. Y'all figure that out. I've made the mistake of surrounding myself with people that give me
The fingers are easy.
yep. And see, that's the deal today, and I didn't get it on camera because I was like, wow, I just went out there and started whittling. Today alone, I mean, from the time I put the bend in it, if y'all watch the video, I did a heat bend on it to pre-start the bow. Anyway, because it's real short. The whole thing is I'm making this out of a piece of wood. It has to come from my property. I can't go buy the wood. There's a friend of mine's got Arizona cypress growing all around his property, that a branch on these things is 6 or 8 inches down at the bottom. 7 foot out, it's still 4 inches, and no branches, no nothing, perfect wood. I could go to his property and harvest the wood to make this. Which is 6 longbow. Well, yeah, 5.5. But that's not off my property. So this is 65, 70-pound draw. And for me, it's closer to 80. This thing's fun to shoot. It's
The only thing I don't have time to carve is totally like takes two things long to carve a log.
There you go. It works for that too. Yeah, if I can ever get enough money saved up to buy a reel, I'm actually going to make I've got the piece of wood picked out and everything, and I'm actually going to make a just a hand reel and put it on this one. It's not actually a reel; it'll basically just be a piece sticking out here that has the line looped on it. And instead of shooting a regular fishing arrow out of this, I'll actually probably have a 5-foot arrow with a detachable head, maybe. I don't know if I don't exactly get paid by YouTube to do all this work just to make a video. So, depending on how much time I have available and all that like that, is how fancy the fishing rig gets. I'm going to make the I'm going to make the spool because I want to, and I can use it on my regular recurve. It won't. Let's stay it right. Westwind, I don't know. I hadn't really shopped around much. I know the only one I ever looked at was over $55 at Academy Sports, and that was 8 years ago. But when you've got right now, I've got a lot better things to spend $55 on than something to go fishing in. I got a new fishing pole because it was Father's Day and I didn't buy it. Yeah, but see, they make so many different ones. And the stuff that I like to do is, make the primitive stuff and use it. I don't have to have a fancy push the button and it reels the fish in for you. If I want to do that, I can use a hook. Bow fishing is hard. And bow fishing in creeks can get expensive. And you can only bury that $20 arrow into so many logs and roots on the bank and break it so many times.
Talking about hand fishing, I'm gonna make a couple hand fishing setups and compare those to the collapsible fishing rod when I get it in the mail.
Who said that?
Bigger.
Four-inch grinder?
I'll be stopping to Maine.
Oh. Um, you know those hand fishing deals aren't that complicated a thing. Oh, we lost somebody else. I wonder who bailed out. Um, the first hand fishing rig I ever saw was a 32-ounce Dr. Pepper bottle. 32-ounce glass Dr. Pepper bottle. You can't get those anymore. But the old boy had stuck a broom handle, not a broom handle, a dowel rod, where the liquid used to come out, and taped it up so he had a handle. And he had the line tied off to the neck, and he had it rolled up, and he had it spun around. And he would hold the bottle, he'd swing the weight, and he would chunk it. It would feed right off the back end of that bottle like it was nobody's business. And he would fish, and he would catch a fish, and he would just sit there and just reel it in, just as fast as you could do it with a rod and reel. He was catching drum and channel cat like it was nobody's business. With a 10-cent Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper bottle. I remember that day, and I was just like, wow. And I've been trying to figure out ways to do stuff with, I've been trying to learn how to do everything third world ever since. Everybody's like, oh, it must be horrible to live in the third world. Well, let's see. They don't make any money, but they can take a half a set of post hole diggers and a pocket knife, go out and work for 30 minutes, and then go home and hang out with their toothless old lady and gripe about the heat while they're sitting in the shade drinking banana beer or whatever. And then a couple hours later, they can go out there where they dug the hole and scoop out supper.
Digger said that's the idea for one or the other. It's gonna make them keep the flowers.
Open. Yeah. Uh, my next project, I have just about got everything. Well, man, I got so many projects I want to do. I like to collect junk. I don't know if y'all know this about me. I really like to take junk and turn it into something else. I want to be hired just to do junkyard wars. That's what I want to do. That's what I want my job to be. Take this stuff and turn it into something else. Alrighty. Hey, 3 hots to the cot. Cold one at the end of the day. And I am your man. Seriously. The storm shredded my brother's shed as a plastic shed. I'm going to ask him if I can have it. Because I honestly believe that I can make a kayak out of that. Yep. I think I can. It's like they get people on there that are completely thrown off. They don't get normal people that think normally about junk. I'm like, okay, why in the world would you do that? That one team they had on there just walked away with everybody. They're like, make a speedboat. And when before they ever got down in the junkyard, I was like, ooh, whoever gets there first wins. There was a cargo van that had the pop up on top of it. None of them went and took that top. Have you ever seen one of those vans? That looks just like a what? Oh, yeah, it's a fiberglass boat upside down on top of a van. Get your saw, go cut it off, duct tape the sharp edges, stick you a dirt bike in the back end of it with a paddle wheel on it. You win. The guys that did win actually did something very similar. But I can't believe nobody jumped on that van. Yeah, me and the wife were talking about that. Everybody around here has done pasture surfing, and that stuff's stupid, man. It's fun though. Pasture surfing is where you take the hood off an old vehicle, pick your poison. Personally, the old Bonnevilles were the best. And the real old Chevys. You hook them to now they're hooking them to ATVs, which is cheating. And I guess if you can afford an ATV, that's fine. We just hooked it to the back of the farm truck and drove and hoped that the guy in the front wasn't some guy like me or Chipper that was going to dump your butt off of it just because he wanted to see you fly. So. Chain broke on me, and I wound up underneath the back end of a 69 Mercury. Pinned between it and the ground. That crap hurt. I was almost stopped before I got there. I made a turn and kind of get it sideways. So couldn't get off of it in time. Well, we were doing it on ice, so that's my bad. Can't really finger anybody for that one. Freshly cut hay that's been baled. You don't want the bales out there where it's just short grass is the best. You don't want to do it like in a just regular grazing pasture that's not controlled because there could be stickers out there. Yeah, I know. I ain't never ride behind you, Chipper. Not unless I got one of those, the training seats on for like the dogs or whatever. So when you bounce my butt out and I hit 57 pine trees on the way down the hill, I ain't dead. Ow, that hurt. Yeah. What the potential for or the loss of potential for bodily harm to the passenger? Is that what takes the fun out of it? Oh. Do you realize how much trouble you Chipper, me, and Rob would have got into if we'd known each other at high school? One of us would be dead, and the other two would be in penitentiary. Pretty sure.
Snowboarding in the Middle East on Saturdays. Now that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Now that would be if they have all these stupid rules. There's a 160 miles south of us is white sands. Literally just miles and miles of white oceans, you know, only
Nothing says
sugar
funny
sand.
stuff like getting a buddy his first cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Westland said you don't want to crash on sand. I guess it would be a little.
It's
crazy.
packed, but I'm sure you could slide. I mean, I'm sure you can skid across that. Yeah. He said he wasn't scared. Go figure. Something I want to try is and I've done some research on it. Actually, a good friend of ours had located me a motor, and I'm saying this out loud because she can't hurt him now, and maybe she won't hurt me. We were actually going to build us a ground effects aircraft, which is cool. It's basically you put wings on your old car hood and a motor, and then you get going and you drive out on the lake, or you fly out on the lake. As long as you stay within 12 foot of the surface, you can fly. And as long as you don't hit the water, you're flying. Therein lies the tricky part. You can't hit the water, and you can't get too high or you'll fall down and hit the water. No pilot's license required. There's always an updraft at the surface of the water on a lake. So the air is always going to try to push you up on the lake. It's called a ground effect. I've actually got my A&P, but I know enough about airplanes to build one and get myself in a world of trouble. So
Oh, wow.
there you go. That's something. Well, don't get hurt, Westwind. And if you do, you don't know me. I don't need no NCIS or whatever showed up at my house going, or
I didn't say
USF.
all that. You didn't say, don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't try this at home. Oh, and remember, I'm a professional. Do not try this at home. I actually got to put my hands on the Coors Light Silver Bullet. That is not an airplane. That shouldn't be classified as an aircraft. It's like a drone or something.
Silly question, Wes. What's the heaviest the craft can be for the ground effect plane?
It's got to be pretty light. It's actually it's the ground effects aircraft does not have as much wing surface area as I don't have all this data in front of me, but I know for a fact that the ground effects aircraft does not have an equivalent uh, airfoil surface to that of an ultralight or even a hang glider. They're not designed for powered flight at an elevation. They are designed to have enough forward momentum for your airfoils to make use of the ground effect. They've got to be ultra light. So we're talking hundreds of pounds. Night, Frank. These little chats like this are cool. I can let my smart guy out. I like that. Well, smarter guy out. And Wesley, don't do nothing stupid. Do some research. I mean, you're an airframe guy. You're good. But do not Tim the Toolman Taylor it, okay? Don't just needs more power. Don't strap a V8 to this thing and take off down the boat ramp and be surprised when you sink to the bottom of the lake. That was not going to be on me. How about that? But see, the trick is, Digger, you need to research it. The ground effects aircraft does not have a boat attached. It's basically just got some skis. So if you do bump the water, you ski.
Westwind said be right back.
The drag on that boat, okay, Westwind, the drag on that boat is going to prevent flight. It's not going to work with a boat on it. I have seriously considered checking into this kayak thing because the kayak is light enough.
Where's it? On the 70.
Yeah, but it's the way the John boat is made. It's like dragging a tent. It's never going to allow airflow, and the drag on it would be like insane. One of the racing kayaks or something. If you could get a racing kayak that was 50 pounds, that was aerodynamically sound, you might be able to make it work. And now we are actually table discussing this as if we're going to build it. This is scary. Yeah, airboat would be cool. You could duck boat it. You got a 70-pound boat. Make you a duck boat out of it. Them duck boats will fly, man. You don't even have to worry about the airboat. You know what a duck boat is, right? You know what a duck boat is. What part of the world are you from?
Yeah, come here. I feel that boat sometimes. I saw them in.
Yeah, most right. I bet if they could get in, they'd be swimming in right now. Anyway, a duck boat motor looks like a weed eater on steroids, and it's out there. And if if you got 6 inches of water, you're going. I don't know what's going on.
You may have to back out and come back in.
Yeah, you may have to back out. Oh, did it come up? Would it be wrong to ask you for a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Wife, would you mind giving me a cup of coffee? Yeah, it was fair. Man, I hate that we didn't get to do this with everybody else in here. Yeah, a flat bottom John boat. Okay. But see the duck boat motor setup, you can Google it. It's a 5 to 10 horsepower air cooled motor on a straight shaft out to a prop with a little rudder, and like when you got an outboard on there and you get on it, it always wants to throw the front well, like you're going this way. When you get on the outboard, it always wants to throw your John boat up, which is a little scary until you get used to it. But you're not pushing on the back end of the boat with the duck motor. You're pushing behind the boat, and it's an engineering thing. The line of contact and the stresses and the statics are different. So instead of pushing you up, it just pushes you. It just skims you across the top of the water. You remain flatter, and you can go in shallower water without your like here's your boat, and the motor's back here where my hand is on the duck deal, and it's pushing you like this. But if you put the outboard on your John boat, it's like this. So it's pushing you up. Does that make sense? Did I mention how I tried to be an engineer once? Went to school and everything. My brain still hurts. Thank you. That's very good, honey. Yeah. And I did not say this. I'm not a professional duck boat outboard motor builder, but if rather than aluminum, individual made one that was out of stainless steel, and if the leading edge on said propeller was perhaps sharpened, then the lily pads have less effect on the performance of said propeller. But I wouldn't suggest doing that if you were going to go through lily pads. Just now, I saw a guy do it once. It worked pretty good. Oh, let's see. What would I suggest for a light airboat motor? German made. Volkswagen. Or, wait a minute. If you can find one, because the air-cooled motors on, not the Kohler, but the Onans and the Honda engines that they put on some of the small welders, they're like 18 to 24 horsepower, I believe. That doesn't sound like much, but you said a light airboat. I don't know if it'd push you across dry land, but it'd push you across the water. And that's 20 horsepower at what they've got it governed at. You can amp the governor up on a 22 horsepower engine within reason. Don't go crazy. You don't want to open it wide open and then have the rod or something come through the deal. But that's a very light engine and it will do a lot of work. And you can pick those up pretty cheap. A lot of people dump them whenever the generator goes out on the Honda welder or whatever, the Honda or the Hobart or the Miller or the Lincoln, whatever the air cooled welders are. They just go get another one, and then there's a engine sitting there. You can buy just the engine, depends on how much money you want to spend on it. Now, honestly, West Wind, the motorcycle engine. Now here's the trick: you can get an old 750 from one of the 80s, mid 80s all the way back, and they won't do nearly as much as a 550 crotch rocket will. Just remember that if you're looking for a used motorcycle engine to try something like that with, you're better off going with something out of a crotch rocket. A Ninja, the 350 Ninja, is going to put more RPMs and torque to the back wheel because they're designed for higher RPMs. I worked with a guy that built racing lawnmowers. We were always sticking motorcycle engines in lawnmowers. They made it against a lot of race lawnmowers in this county. Go figure. The last one he did, he put a engine out of a 750 Honda and put a direct drive axle under the back end of a Sears and Roebuck lawnmower and wired rigged the hand throttle, whole 9 yards, built a wheelie bar cage. It ran on 4 wheels. They had some kind of problem because he would show up to the race and it had 6 wheels. But during the race, it was only on 4 of them. The back 4. The front 2 never touched the ground. But they seemed to be afraid that it was going to kill somebody. When you blinked and the race was over. I mean, it was that fast. I don't know what that thing would do. It was a lawnmower, and it would do 80 1/8 of a mile. We do know that. I honestly think it would do 80 in half a city block. Your hat did not stay on. You did a deck brace on that law boy. That's crazy. I got a trophy in there, second place. I never could get first place because I didn't have a motorcycle engine in mine. I had the engine out of a welder. My guy actually bought my old mower, and he said I could have it back. I could buy it back. It needs a fuel pump right now, but I don't know what to do with a 22 horsepower lawnmower that's designed to go 0 to 16 in 20 feet. They go 0 to 16 miles an hour inside of 20 feet. That don't sound like a lot unless you own it. And it only ran on 2 wheels. You had to lean into it. I didn't have no wheelie bar. Um, Downshift. You know, baby.
Hey, Sean said that you got him for something or something that you had pictures of his already.
Where's those pictures I gave to you to send to him?
They're over there.
Oh, they're probably under that table, we'll look tomorrow.
But okay. Did y'all go see him?
No, he wrote a little short note.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too. Everybody's going to bed all around me. What time is it? I didn't stayed up all night again, haven't I? Is Chipper lurking in here or just us guys? I never got into all that racing and stuff. The only racing I ever did was less than approved, I guess. I mean, raced the lawnmowers, but I've raced a lot of cars, raced motorcycles some, but it was never on a track or anywhere where it was cool. Thank you.
Set it up for the morning.
Now I'm gonna get off there. I gotta get up. Get them do chores. Bailed on most of them today. I'm not gonna do it again. Anybody want to come do my chores so I don't have to? Dude, what were you doing in Iran? And it's Iran, my bad. What were you doing in Iran? And hey, Robert, long time no see. Seriously, I've got to. I'm just gonna like. Oh, I forgot my toothbrush or something. I'm gonna drive up to where you're at. Hey, when did you sneak in here, Tim? People coming in here and stuff. All. What time is it? Hey, Rob, what time is it where you're at? Because then it'll be the same as where I'm at. Oh, that's. Yeah, it was 107.5 here. Ow. And you're in the Portland area, right? Not trying to call you out. I mean, that's the general area ish of where you are ish. Right, Westman. My me sister lives in just like a few miles south of Portland. I had one of the fastest pickups around, and I lost to a stinking granny mobile. 67 Caprice 4-door. It was smoking. It was blowing gray smoke, and it took me. That's what I get for running up against a big block. Man, I wasn't dumb enough to run for titles. My last street car was a four-door Buick Skylark. Just as plain as it come. I want a Granada. I want a Ford Granada. 76, 78, somewhere around in there. Ford Granada, that's what I want. It's like the Crown Vic's ugly little sister. But you could get it with a 302 in it. Yeah, it was a light car. Yeah, I mean, you can make such a sleeper out of one of those. Yes, ma'am. I thought you were asleep. So, like, can I drive the Bronco? Is it gonna be my Bronco? Can I camo it? Do you want me to go talk to that guy in Rotan or not? I can do that one. I can ask you all that stuff in there. Good to know, Chipper. Okay. Can't take top off? Hey, Rob, are you going to acknowledge my existence or not? But the one over there already has the top off, so it's not like I would be breaking a cherry. You know, you're kind of unreasonable. What if I just get two Broncos? Yes, ma'am. Anybody know any 2-for-1 sales? Now, Rob, I was just messing with you. Tell Cornelius I miss her. And not to hate me, she did that name to herself. Tell her Ann's a hi too. Don't tell Ella I said hi because she doesn't like me. Because I look like some dude that's mean. I'm not a mean person. I'm gonna wear a scream mask whenever I come back up there next time. Well, that's cheating. What's she doing in Canada? I am going to Canada. I hope. And so y'all gonna start talking about engine modifications and stuff. Wait a minute. We got Timo telling us a story here. Ah, see, there you go. See, world Tim can hang with his Chipper and Westland and everybody. He's allowed to play. And then I got like a notification from somebody about something that I don't know what it is. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, y'all missed it earlier. We were talking about all the potentially hazardous ways to enjoy one's time off with old car parts and motorized vehicular propulsion units. Hey, Tibor. Yes, I do. And how did you know that? My son has, it's not a four-wheel drive, but he's got a 78 sitting out there right now. I have been looking all over for, I had a Datsun. Don't hate me. I sold it. And now I'm driving a Nissan. It was, I want the Japanese product. I, nothing against the stuff they're making in the US. We need the jobs and everything like that. But the old 70s up to the mid to late 80s, those were real Toyotas. And then they weren't. Yes, a Subaru would be cool too. Now, Diggers, you still in here? If you can get your hands on a Subaru engine, that'll work for that boat too. Is Digger still in here? Or is he one of the ones that left? And see, that's there you go, Tibor. 84 is American made. 83 was Japanese made. Oh, yeah, we'll do it. Subaru Brats are. I will never understand why they replaced the Brat with that Baja thing. I mean, the Baja is cool and everything, but to replace something as iconic and irreplaceable as the Brat with something else, what were they thinking? Uh, Dad, I'm going to argue with you on. I don't know if Subaru knows how to make junk. Uh, Subarus are pretty badass. I'm just saying. I will not be ignored, South Pavilion. Who's being ignored? I'm not ignoring you. What did she say that was important? Oh, I told her I was going to try to make it work on my phone. And see, the old Jeeps were good too. I would love to have a Scrambler, but you can't touch one of those things for what they're worth. Yeah, pretty much. But I like the Outback too for what it is. I mean, Subarus are not off-road vehicles. They are all-wheel drive automobiles that can take a dirt road. Subarus were built for Australia, I guess. Oh, dude. If I found a scrambler for $2,000 around here, I'd sell my wife's Bronco. Still not afraid of what? uh, yeah, and the new Bronco is not even a Bronco, man. It's lame. It's a Raptor. It's not a Bronco. Then you know what? That's who drives them down here too. And I don't understand that. I get all the Republicans drive all these black smoke puking diesels and stuff, which sorry, Chipper. There are reasons for the big honking trucks, but there is no reason for chipping it and choking people out with your diesel smoke. You give me one reason you need 600 or 700 horsepower in your pickup, in your diesel farm truck. Come on. Yes, ma'am, I know. And see, I don't understand what happened to my children. Both of my sons, I tried to raise them right. Took them to church, bought them the best school supplies I could, put hot sauce on the covers so they wouldn't eat them. Uh, you know, made sure that they understood that the purple Crayola didn't taste like grape and all that stuff. I did the best I could to raise them. And they both turned into Chevrolet guys. Both of them. Just don't know where it went wrong. Things happen. They turned out twisted. Courtney and Leland have a Toyota. They're driving a Chevrolet. They're driving my brand new grandbaby around in a GM product, putting her life at risk daily. I just don't understand. You do know why Chevrolet comes with OnStar as standard equipment, right? Because you're going to need the tow truck. So I gotta be quiet now because I actually like the Ram trucks. Sorry. I'm not a Mopar guy. I really am not. But around here there were so many used Rams that we got a good deal on it. And I actually enjoyed the truck. Now the way they've got their electronics and stuff is stupid. But anyway. Okay, I gotta see it now. Hold on, I gotta click this link. Give me link.